What's the most shocking discovery in the history of science? I reckon it stares you in the face every time you look through a window. When you look through a window, you see the street outside, cars parked, people walking their dogs, pigeons flying by. But if you look closely, you'll also see a faint reflection of your own face. And that is because glass does not transmit 100% of the light that falls on it. It transmits, say, let's say something like 95% of the light, and it reflects about 5%, which is why you can see the reflection of your face. Now, this is incredibly easy to understand if light is a wave. Now, the wave nature of light was discovered in 1801 by Thomas Young. He did a relatively simple experiment that you can easily do in a school science lab, and he discovered that light behaved like a ripple spreading on a pond. Now, you can't see that light is a wave because the wavelength, that's the distance between successive crests of the wave, is far smaller than the diameter of a human hair. But nevertheless, light is a wave. Now, that observation that I can see cars and things on the street outside, but I can also see a reflection of my face, is easy to understand if light is a wave. Imagine, for instance, a wave on water created by a speedboat, and imagine that it encounters a semi-submerged piece of wood floating there on the pond or the lake. We probably all know that what we would see is most of the wave traveling onwards and a small part of that wave reflected. And so that kind of, if light is a wave, we can see how we can see both the scene outside of a window pane and the reflection of our face. But in 1905, Einstein proposed that light was actually a stream of quanta. These are tiny little microscopic bullets, which were later named photons. And it turned out that he was right. He proposed these photons to explain something called the photoelectric effect. And that's, of course, what he got his Nobel Prize for, not relativity. Now, if light is actually a stream of kind of microscopic machine gun bullets, photons, and they're all identical, how do you explain seeing a reflection of your face in a window pane and the scene outside? Because if all of the photons are identical, surely they should all be affected identically by the glass. They should either all go through or they should all be reflected. There is no way you can explain how 95% can go through, be transmitted, and 5% be reflected. And this conundrum gave physicists in the early 20th century migraines, really. They just really couldn't figure out how to solve the problem. Finally, they realized that the only way to solve it was to say that each photon had a 95% chance of being transmitted and a 5% chance of being reflected. Now, that's incredible because it means if you could shrink yourself down to the size of a photon and follow the stream of photons going towards the window pane, you could not tell whether your photon is going to go through or be reflected. You can only tell the chance or the probability of that happening. Now, all physics that had gone before was actually a recipe for predicting the future with 100% certainty. So we know where the moon is today. We can use Newton's law of gravity to predict with 100% certainty where it will be tomorrow. But this observation that stares you in the face when you look through a window pane tells you that this is actually impossible in the microscopic world. And photons are only one of the denizens of the submicroscopic world. It turns out that all all of the particles, whether they're electrons, photons, neutrinos, they all dance to the tune of chance. And so with an atom or with a photon, we can only predict the chance that it will do something, the chance it will follow a certain path, the chance it will be reflected or transmitted. So the reason that this is the most shocking discovery in the history of science is because it actually tells you that the universe is based on random chance. It's fundamentally unpredictable. You may be wondering why it is, if the universe is founded on random chance, it does appear to be predictable. You knew that the sun was going to rise this morning. If you kick a football, you pretty much know the trajectory it will follow. And that is because what nature takes away with one hand, it grudgingly gives back with the other. Because although the universe is fundamentally unpredictable, the unpredictability is predictable. And the recipe for predicting the unpredictable is what we call quantum theory.